Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotarasata Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotarasata Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navarit Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai ki jai, Yamuna Mai ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Tulasi Devi ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarne. So announce again because devotees are still coming. You can say in Tamil where the Tamil class is.
Hare Krishna. Tamil மொழிபெயர்ப்பு முதலாவது மாடியில் நடக்கிறது. தமிழ் கேட்க வேண்டிய பக்தர்கள் முதலாவது மாடிக்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். రూమ్ నంబర్ 213.
హరే కృష్ణ. తెలుగు అనువాదం ఇక బయట పాపకి దగ్గర ఇంగ్లీష్ దగ్గర జరుగుతుంది. ఇక్కడ అందులో ఇంతకుముందు జరిగింది. हिंदी में अनुवाद प्रथम स्तर पे हो रहा है. वीडियो से ऊपर जाके हिंदी में अनुवाद होगा और बांग्ला में एक
বাংলা অনুবাদ ওইদিকে পেছনে কোথায় কোন জায়গায় আসলে এই হলের একদম পেছনে সেই দিকে গেলে জিজ্ঞেস করলে পাবে ওম নমো ভগবতে বাসুদেবায় Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 80, Text 33. Translation and commentary by disciples of His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We have it? It's just there. Most of you can see it, I hope. Nanu Artha Kovidaha Brahman Varnashrama Vatam Iha Ye Maya Guruna Vacha Charanti Anjaha Bhava Arnavam Nanvarta Kovida Brahman Varnashrama Vatamiha Ye Maya Guruna Vacha Charantyanjo Bhavarnavam Nanvartha Kovida Brahman Varnashrama Vatamiha Ye Maya Guruna Vacha Charantyanjo Bhavarnavam Nanvarta Kovida Brahman Varnashrama Vatamiha Maya Guruna Vacha Tarantyanjo Bhavarnavam Nanvarta Kovida Brahman Varnashrama Gatamiha Ye Maya Guruna Vacha Ladies, please. Varta Kovida Brahman Varnashrama Vitamiha Maya Guruna Vacha Tarantyanjo Bhavarnavam Nanvarta Kovida Brahman Varnashrama Vitamiha Maya Guruna Vacha Tarantyanjo Bhavarnavam Nanvartako Vida Brahman Varnashrama Vitamiha Ye Maya Guruna Vacha Tarantyanjo Bhavarnavam Nanu. Certainly. Artha. Of their true welfare. Kovidaha. Expert knowers. Brahman. O Brahmana. Varnashramavatam. Among those engaged in the Varnashram system. Iha. In this world. Ye. Who? Maya. By me. Guruna. As the spiritual master. Vacha. Through his words. Taranti. Cross beyond. Anjaha. Easily. Bhava. Of material life. Arnavam. The ocean. Translation. This is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, speaking to his friend, ex-schoolmate, Sudama. Certainly, O Brahmana, of all the followers of the Varnashram system, those who take advantage of the words I speak in my form as the spiritual master and thus easily cross over the ocean of material existence, best understand their own true welfare. Purport. One's father is a natural object of reverence, as is a religious leader who initiates one into sacred ceremonies and instructs one in general wisdom. But ultimately the bona fide spiritual master, learned in the transcendental science and thus able to take one across the ocean of birth and death to this spiritual world, such a guru is the most deserving of worship and respect, for he is the direct representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated here. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurin Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Shreshtham Manamapi Shachiputram Atra Swarupam Rupam Tasya Gajamurupurim Mathurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurun Tam Natosmi Vandeham Shri Guru Shriyataf Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanita. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, speaking to his schoolmate about their old school days, glorifying their guru. It's maybe a mystery, non-understandable, how the Supreme Lord, who is the master of everyone, accepts the spiritual master. So generally, we've heard from Srila Prabhupada and previous acharyas that he does so to teach others that they also should accept a guru. He does that as a showing the example for others. But of course, Krishna, everything he does, that is for teaching others in various ways. When he dances with the gopis, he's also teaching others, but not teaching that you do this. He's teaching that I do this. That's not for you, but you should see I'm the supreme enjoyer. So everything he does for his enjoyment, and his highest enjoyment is giving pleasure to his devotees. So in accepting a guru, he also has school friends, makes more friends, and he has his guru, and there's also affection there between himself and his guru. Just as he accepts a father and mother, and there's affection between his father and mother and himself, so he also enjoys the role of being a disciple. There's a pleasure in that. Acharan dasavat nichaha. Elsewhere in Bhagavatam it's described, the brahmachari in Gurukul, he behaves like a lowly slave toward his guru. So you might think, well, sounds horrible. But there's a flavor there also for those who accept that role. To become the humble servant actually is the constitutional position of the living being, his happy position, to be the humble servant. So Krishna, he shows that everyone should do this, and he also has feeling toward his guru, and he himself becomes the guru. How is it that Bhagavad Gita is so widely accepted and recited and respected all over the world up to the present day? You may say, well, because Krishna spoke it. But Krishna himself, in his discussion with Sudama, says that because we took so much trouble in serving our Guru, therefore the Guru blessed me, and Krishna in particular, that whatever you say, that will remain extant in human society. So Srila Prabhupada comments in the Nectar of Devotion, I believe it is, that because of his Guru's blessings, the Bhagavad Gita is still so widely accepted and respected up to the present day. Now there's an exchange. The Guru teaches, the disciple serves. In this way, the Guru, just like the disciple, is acting. Acharan dasavandicho sudrida guru sohrida. Brahmachari guru kole vasandanto gurur hitam. That was the word I was looking for. Gurur hitam. He, in all his actions, he thinks, what should I do to please my Guru? And the Guru is also dealing with the disciple. It may seem very strict and very harsh. It might seem like that, but the Guru is behaving in a manner that the disciple may be benefited. He's also giving himself fully. So that is love. When from both sides, each is giving themselves fully. It's stipulated by Vedic law that you should live like that and behave like that. And by acting in that way, then there is a reciprocation of love. So whatever different arguments may be given for this Ritvik Vad, that you just imagine Srila Prabhupada is your Diksha Guru, but they're missing out on that exchange of love which comes by having someone to pull your ear. This once Sarvabhavana Prabhu, you all remember him, the old Mayapura residents. He was mostly in Calcutta. He's from Calcutta. Anyway, he told me once that he once asked Srila Prabhupada that why is the person Bhagavat considered more important than the book Bhagavat? Prabhupada said, because he can pull your ear. You read the book, you put it down and go to sleep. You can do that. But the Guru will come and pull your ear. Get up, utishta, jagrata, prapya varande bodha. Don't sleep. Get up. Get to work. Service to do. So it's a fact that it's a perceivable fact here in this assembly here, that between gurus and disciples there is a loving exchange. Generally in this material world, a person can only have one or two people they feel very strongly, deeply, very close friends they can intimately trust. And nowadays many people, that also, they only have a dog. They can only trust their dog. They only love their dog. Because they can't trust any human. They can't have any relationship with any human. And some people, they can't have even a relationship with a dog. They have a dog and they just mistreat the dog also. In the material consciousness, it's only possible to have few close friends. But in spiritual consciousness, it's possible to have even hundreds and thousands. Even the close friends in material existence, you can be friend today and enemy tomorrow. Why is that? What do we see? Who do we see as our friend? Someone who has the same interest in me, someone who has my self-interest in their heart. That's why it's said that, what is that? That fair weather friends. That when things are going well, you may have so many friends. When someone becomes rich, they suddenly get so many friends. When they lose all the money, then all the friends vanish. So they're not really friends. They're out to get something for you. So it's said that you can understand who is actually your friend in difficult times, when there's nothing for the friend to get from you, where being with you and helping you, there's nothing for him to be benefited by that. It's a difficulty for him or her. Wife also is supposed to be the very good friend, but nowadays also, because as soon as there's a cut in the sense gratification, then reject. So Vedic culture stipulates The wife has to go on serving the husband. The husband has to keep on protecting the wife. Not only in Vedic culture, and even in the Christian marriage ceremony, they say, till death us do part, in health or sickness, or in, in poverty or wealth, and so on and so on. It's considered a bond that is overseen, it's a commitment, not just to each other, but to God. So even more so, in the relationship between guru and disciple, it's a commitment to God, to Krishna, and it's a spiritual relationship, means that it stays. We sing every morning, Chakudano Diloje Janme Janme Prabhushe Dibya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Birth after birth is my Prabhu, my Lord. He reveals Divya Gyan within my heart. So this is very different from the Mayavadi's conception. They think you get Gyan and then no more birth and death, finished. You don't need a guru either. You know, all you need is Gyan. That's the Mayavadi's idea. You get Gyan and then you realize you're God, and then you don't need a guru, you don't need anyone. What do you need anything if you're God for? They don't know that God needs his devotees also. They think they become God, but their idea of God is just nothing, almost nothing. Just some imagination of Ananda without any relationship. Very strange idea. And therefore they say you can't describe it in words. Of course you can't describe it in words, because it doesn't make any sense at all, so how can you describe it? There's one word, nonsense. That's one word you can use for it. But they think that by Divya Gyan they'll become liberated and they'll know more birth and death. But Janme Janme Prabhu say, it's a different, completely different approach. That whatever Krishna wants, that I'm simply his servant. We haven't come to Krishna to get liberation. Of course, here Krishna, in this verse which we just read, Trantyanjo Bhavarnavam, these two words are often juxtaposed, Taranti and Bhavarnava, crossing or being delivered from the ocean of material existence. By the Krishna here says, by the mercy of the Guru. But that's not the same as the Mayavad. They also talk about the same thing, crossing the ocean of material existence. But their idea is they think the ocean, it's all figurative, and then you finish up with no relationship. But in spiritual consciousness there can be many, many, many friends, because the interest is the same. The fixed point of interest. All the gurus, disciples, they're all fixed that we're here to serve Krishna. It's another great mistake of the Mayavadis. They Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. They think, oh, now I'm a guru, so I'm God. So then we don't need to worship Vishnu. A great mistake. But this whole ceremony here is centered on myself, but in Krishna consciousness everything is centered on Krishna. We had Vyasa-puja this morning. I'm very happy to do that. We should do that every time. First, I have to worship all the acharyas up to Vyasa and up to Krishna. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Krishna is the original guru. We're here to worship. I'm here to worship. I'm not here to be worshipped. I'm here to... Vyasa-puja means we should all worship Vyasa. So because Krishna himself has made this system and followed this system, that we worship his manifestation as the spiritual master. The spiritual master is spiritual master because he repeats the same message as Vyasa did. He's representative of Vyasa. Therefore he sits on the Vyasa-asana. So for that reason, the spiritual master is worshipped, and he has to worship others. One devotee, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, he was a self-made Mayavadi, sannyasi, guru of sorts, who Lokanath Maharaj picked up on, it wasn't called the Padayatra at that time, it was called the Bullock Cart Party. And he was going along with the devotees, but he had his own ideas. Then for the first time they came to, in Prabhupada's, Srila Prabhupada's presence. And there was the Guru Puja, daily Guru Puja. And this self-made Mayavadi, he saw that all the devotees were singing the song, Shri Guru Charana Padma, etc. And he saw that Prabhupada himself was singing it. So they're singing in glorification of him, and he's singing in glorification of himself. This doesn't seem right. What's that? So he asked Lokanath Maharaj, why is he singing? And he said, we're singing to him. He's singing to his guru. That was really? Oh, then he understood. Then everything. Then he surrendered to Prabhupada. Then he understood. The whole misunderstanding of Mayavad was swept away by understanding that the Guru, he accepts that worship, but he himself accepts it as a servant of his own Guru. Not that he thinks the worship stops here. No, it goes up to his Guru, and it goes up to his Guru, and his Guru. So in this, I was saying, spiritual relationship, the center is Krishna, and we're all eternal servants of Krishna, and Krishna's love is unlimited. Krishna unlimitedly loves us. He has unlimited love for every individual. So if we become connected with Krishna, then we can have a genuine relationship with hundreds and thousands of people, and with we can see everyone as part and parcel of Krishna. So by coming to Krishna consciousness, we enter the sphere of the unlimited, and we can practically experience this, how devotees, they become very dear to us. It's not just me and my Guru. This attitude is the neophyte attitude. The neophyte devotee thinks there's me and there's God. Oh yeah, and maybe Guru also. Archaya meva haraye pujasya shradhaye hate na tad bhakteshu chanyeshu sabhakta prakrita smritaha. Someone has this materialistic conception that I'm doing bhakti and there's God, He's accepting it. So I don't really need all these other people. They think they're worshipping God, but I know I'm doing. So this is a materialistic conception. When one sees everyone in relationship to Krishna, then that is more advanced. That is the actual situation. It's not just me and Krishna. That's one reason why in our sampradaya, Gauriya sampradaya, of course Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught we should consider ourselves to be the servant of the servant of the servant, going up the chain of servants to the gopis, Krishna. So there are some devotees who sing, Krishna, come to me. Famous, respected as great devotees, but that's not the mode of the pure devotees. They want to serve the servants of Krishna. The servant of the servant of the servant. This was taught here in this land, is always being taught by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and the subsequent acharyas. So every year I have to say the same thing at this ceremony, that what am I doing here? What am I specifically doing here? Because if I think what I was, it just seems ridiculous that I could be accepting the worship and love and gifts that you're all offering to me. How is that possible? I cannot say, others can say, I cannot say that I am an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in any other than a very general way. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked that, I just recently read this, that Srila Prabhupada, you said that all your disciples are sent by, they're all associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada said yes, that everyone, every jiva is an associate. So I can't say I am in more than a very general way. But I can, what is my qualification to be here? I can simply ask you to follow Srila Prabhupada and try to set an example of doing so. And that's the qualification. I can't claim any more qualification than that, but that is the qualification, actually, because there is great spiritual power in this process. How could Srila Prabhupada lift up me and so many others, and how does he continue to lift up others? Well, he is an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he didn't say that. He said that whatever I'm doing, it's all by the mercy of my spiritual master. So ultimately it's all the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but that comes down through the disciplic succession. So if I simply ask you, Prabhupada said do this, you do it. And if you do it, then you will experience Chaito Darpana Marjanam. As Srila Prabhupada would always say, this is a scientific process. If you follow it, you will get the result. Pratyakshavangamam dharmyam susukam kartam avyayam is directly experienced, that one becomes happy, jolly. Srila Prabhupada often used that word. Brahma bhuta prasannatma. One becomes jolly in spiritual life. So we can practically perceive this. If at all we're feeling morose, we have to examine, are we committing some offense? We're not following the process properly. Because there is tremendous purificatory power in this process that Srila Prabhupada gives us every day. We're having a festival here, but every day in Krishna consciousness is a festival, especially in Mayapura. There's a huge gathering of devotees every day for singing and dancing, taking prasadam, glorifying Krishna. But every day, whether sometimes we have Mangalati with 3 people, sometimes with 3,000. But every day we can experience that pratiti barshe parama shuke. Every day we can experience the great bliss of Krishna consciousness. Every day is a festival. So it's something that we can experience. Why should we do this? Why should we get up early every morning when in modern life the idea is sleep as late as you can and take rest as late as you can. Rakshasa life. Have sense gratification late into the night and then get up late in the morning. Srila Prabhupada has given us this very pure and purificatory life. Get up. Utishta. Sometimes people ask, what's the first thing in spiritual life? What's the first thing? First thing is get up early in the morning, every day, and chant the holy names. Every day, of course today is a little different. Otherwise, every day we get up, we chant, we discuss Shastra, we take only prasadam. So it's every day. Every day it's like this. So you can experience. And that way you can also, you've come here to glorify me. Why is that? Because Srila Prabhupada said this movement runs on love and trust. So you have some love for me and trust. Why should you have love and trust for me? Why? You can make a law. Actually it's there in the Vishrambena Guru Seva. One should serve the Guru with affection. But you can't just say, oh, it's a rule. Okay, it's written in the book, I have to do it. It's a rule. Okay, now I love someone because now I got married, so I have to love my wife. But you just can't, by edict, by law, love doesn't come. Love comes with trust. So how is that love and trust come that you have for me and I have for you? Otherwise, why should I accept you as a disciple? How is that? Because it's the same spirit. It's the same what Krishna gave to Brahma, Brahma gave to Narad, Narad gave to Vyasa. The same thing is coming down. What Krishna comes to this world to give, the same thing is coming down. Even though I'm surprised, I'm sitting here accepting all of this, but if someone like me who has no previous qualification, the only qualification is patita pavana hetu tava avata mosama patita prabhu na paibeya. The only qualification is no qualification. That's also a qualification for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. But then if someone with no qualification cannot come to the point of being able, of accepting Krishna consciousness, and one who accepts Krishna consciousness, especially in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, is supposed to give what he has received to others. So if someone as unqualified as myself cannot be in this situation, then what is the meaning of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy? What did Srila Prabhupada come to give? Therefore this Ritvikism, it's a kind of atheism actually. It's denying the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's denying the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It's lip service. We can't, on the one hand I know my fallen situation, on the other hand I cannot deny that if I say, no, I didn't get any mercy from Srila Prabhupada, but how can I be so ungrateful? Definitely something is there. I may not have advanced very much, but enough that I can confidently tell others, you follow this, you will be benefited. If you don't follow, your life is completely useless. So that much, and I can understand. I'm also experiencing. If we say that, well, we chant Hare Krishna, but definitely we're feeling something. Otherwise, how can you go on and on? The same example Srila Prabhupada so many times gave. You can't go on saying Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. You don't. There's nothing there. There's nothing to inspire. But the holy names of Krishna, one can go on chanting every day. So and on, because this is spiritual. So we can't deny that the mercy of Srila Prabhupada is flowing in our lives. It's a fact. If it's not a fact, then we're not in Mayapura, we're in Maya. Krishna consciousness is a real process by which everyone can be uplifted, and even the most fallen can come to the most exalted position. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to give, comes to lift up the fallen. Doesn't mean just that all their life they have to just be neophytes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to bring everyone to the topmost level. So this is a day in which you will be glorifying myself. For myself, it's a day when I have to intensely remember the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. I have to remember Jogata Bichare Kichu Nahi Pai, Tomara Karuna Shah. If I think that all these things that you're saying are actually true by my own abilities or whatever, then I'm in very great danger. It's a very dangerous time for me. But it's a time to intensely remember Srila Prabhupada, how the mercy is coming down from him. I have to hold on to him. It's very dangerous. Otherwise, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to address one Vyasa-puja address. He opened it by addressing his disciples, my friends, rescuers from danger. So the Guru is supposed to rescue the disciples from danger, but you're also rescuing me from danger. What is the danger? The danger is forgetfulness of Krishna. The danger is the madness of thinking that I am something great. So by your glorifying me, then you help me to remember how I am intrinsically unqualified, but Srila Prabhupada has kindly accepted me in his service. So as in everything we do in our spiritual life, that's true here also. So many of you have worked so hard to arrange this festival in various ways. Devotees have helped. You've come from long distances. Some devotees have come from America and Europe, and even to come from South India or West India in this heat is a great austerity. But we should know that everything that's going on here, if Srila Prabhupada is not pleased by it, then it's shrama eva kevalam, useless. But on the other hand, we should understand that, well, why should Srila Prabhupada not be pleased? Some, again, these Ritvik Vadis, they think that, oh, this is an offense to Prabhupada. But why should it be offensive? Will Srila Prabhupada not be pleased when he sees so many devotees happily chanting the holy names, that they're committed to Krishna consciousness? Will he not be pleased when the glorification of myself is going on? But that you can all understand. That glorification means, Vyasa-puja means it goes from me to Srila Prabhupada, to his guru, and this way goes to Krishna. This is the system that Srila Prabhupada came to teach us. So it would be offensive if we don't see that connection, but the very meaning of parampara means connection. The connection is there. You are seeing why are you worshipping me. If I wasn't a follower of Srila Prabhupada, then would you glorify me if I was just some Englishman? Then there are so many Englishmen visit here, non-devotees. But you're not glorifying me because I was born in England. But you're glorifying, or you have trust in me because of the connection with Srila Prabhupada and the parampara. And as long as I am connected, then that love and trust will be invoked. That is the reason. I might be a nice person, to some extent. Some people have nice personalities. I'm not sure where I stand on the scale of 0 to 100, from nice to horrible. But whether I'm pleasant personality or unpleasant or whatever. Of course, those who take to Krishna consciousness, they're supposed to develop all good qualities. It's an ongoing process for all of us. But that love and trust is not because I might be somewhat a nice guy. There are so many more people who by nature they're much nicer than myself. But it's the link with Srila Prabhupada that links us to the parampara, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to the pure spiritual love which is not affected by material niceness or non-niceness. If you want to criticize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, well, there are demons who do so also. They say, actually, he was a very bad person. He was irresponsible and left his home, and he get angry with people, and someone serves him, and for some minor mistake he rejects him, and he's very headstrong, would always want to have his own way. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is all love. So everything he does, whether he's being Kusamapi Komal, whether he's being as soft as a lotus, or Vajradapi Kotorani, whether he's being as hard as a thunderbolt, the devotees, they love him because his thunderbolt and his lotusness, it's all the same. It's all Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. It's all spiritual bliss, exchange of love with his devotees. So that connection with the source of all love, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is that's the meaning of parampara, guru, disciple. It's a link, because that link is there. That is going on. I trust that you are gathered here not simply out of some sentiment. There may be so many sentimental, empty. By sentimental, that means empty. That means religion without philosophy is just sentiment. So if it's only sentiment, then you can have sentiment for any. There are so many gurus wandering all over India and all over the world who have sentimental followers. But if you can understand from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra what is the behavior of a Guru, by his acha, prachar and vichar, he should represent the previous acharyas and the absolute truth, Krishna. So you could trust me, and I have to be a proper follower of Srila Prabhupada and deliver to you what I've received from Srila Prabhupada, by acha, by my behavior, by my prachar, by my preaching. I should speak what he has spoken, which is what Vyasa-deva has spoken. And so by prachar and vichar, all prachar and vichar, they're the proper understanding of Shastra, and that should be conveyed to others. So if you see in me or any bona fide representative of the previous acharyas that the acha, pracha and vichar are completely in line, then you can have trust. And love develops on the platform of trust. And then you also have to take it up. Every Vaishnava is a guru. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur commented. Because how does a guru teach? By acha, vichar and pracha. So every Vaishnava has to follow the Vaishnava behavior, has to understand properly what is Vaishnavism, and has to convey that to others by speaking. Jare deko tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. So every Vaishnava is a guru, and some, they formally take that role. Now I'm going to say something which could be considered very controversial if it's not understood properly in context. I've been speaking a lot about following Srila Prabhupada, and it's a simple thing to understand. What he says you speak. There's no need to invent anything new. Not only is there no need to, but there's a great danger in attempting to do so. Now, in some ways, you might see me as more central in your life than Srila Prabhupada, because we're on this side of the Vaitarani. We're here in the material world. And in this material world, in material consciousness, we experience through the mind and senses. Now we've come to spiritual life, we have to start seeing through the eye of Shastra. But in material consciousness, we take to be real that which we see through the eyes, that which we hear through the ears, that which we touch with the skin, and so on. And that's all processed within the mind. So, you can, through the senses, see this body which is identified as myself, and here I'm talking about Bhakti Vikasa Swami, I'm not talking about yourself. You can hear, you can interact with, you can have your ear pulled by. So in this way, in every generation there have to be gurus, because in material consciousness we can't directly link with spiritual consciousness. We can't directly link with Krishna and the previous acharyas. The direct link is there, but that has to be revived. We have to be taken from the state of material consciousness to spiritual consciousness. And when we're in spiritual consciousness, then we're in the spiritual world. Then we directly relate with Krishna and all the great devotees and all the previous acharyas. But gurus are there in the world to act as Krishna's representatives, to guide us to how we can engage our senses in such a way that we can start to perceive the spiritual. So in every generation, gurus, they manifest Krishna's mercy. Some are very great acharyas, and some are not very well known. Yesterday I spoke about one devotee. I didn't say Chakrapani Dasadikari. I didn't say his name yesterday. Who was sitting at home, disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, sitting at home in a remote village in what is now Bangladesh. And some local young people came to him. They were interested, what are you doing? This chanting, and he started to explain, and they eventually became his disciples, and among them, 2 of them actually became very active preachers. So there may be great, very world-renowned acharyas, or there may be a guru who initiates 1 or 2 disciples. From the disciples' point of view, who initiates them is Chokkudan, initiates and instructs. Chokkudano Deloje, Janme Janme Prabhu say. Krishna has sent to me this person to guide me. So when Krishna says, Acharyang Mang Vijaniyan Mam Navamanyeta Karhichit Namartya Buddhya Suyeta Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. Krishna says one should see the Acharya as myself and not disrespect him in any way, not consider him to be a mortal person, even though he eats and sleeps and gets sick and grows old and appears to be a mortal person. Don't see him like that, because he's the representative of all the demigods and all the great personalities. So Krishna, he's instructing in this section about the brahmachari who lives in the Gurukul. Gurukul may be in the forest with 4 or 5 disciples. Krishna doesn't say who has got disciples all over the world. He's as good as me. But one who has if you only have 3 or 4, he's not as good. You have to have at least 10,000. Then you can make a claim to be as good as God. But Krishna doesn't say that. We have to accept what Krishna says. Of course, many of you are under the guidance of some of my senior disciples. That's practical because I can't personally oversee you all. Many of you have been brought into Krishna consciousness and trained in Krishna consciousness by them, and they may be more close to you in many ways than myself. So that's also here in Bhagavatam that Prahlad, he respected his senior god brothers on the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So practically they're acting as gurus, and in future they'll have to do formally also. I can't personally guide you all in the intimate way, but just as I'm acting as a representative of Srila Prabhupada, then they should also act as my representative. And although all gurus in ISKCON and all gurus everywhere, there's so many Gauriya Mats here, there's so many gurus, so they all represent Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within ISKCON, they represent Srila Prabhupada. But there are differences also. It's not that every guru is some mold and you have to be exactly the same. So they'll be different in different ways. So disciples, they can understand what I am trying to convey in Srila Prabhupada's service, even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's service, because Krishna consciousness is so expansive. There are different duties assigned to different devotees. They all represented various or promoted different facets of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Nityananda was sent to Bengal to preach. Rupa and Sanatan was sent to the Western countries. At Varahanaga, this Bhagavatacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the service. You just go on reading Bhagavatam. So different emphasis, different devotees took up different services, and naturally their disciples will tend to continue that. So please try to understand those who are my senior disciples who are guiding others, then you also try to understand what I'm promoting in Srila Prabhupada's service. I'm confident that inevitably I have to leave this world, but that some of you're quite competent to carry on some of the things that I've been promoting in Srila Prabhupada's service. I'm not planning to leave soon, but everything is in Krishna's hands. We don't know when that will happen. Sometimes, unfortunately, even within Vaishnava societies, some people are so envious that you feel, what do you want to stay here at all for? Better leave right now. But then there's also so much love which sustains us in this world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I'm living in this world because of the love of all of the devotees. So this world is a horrible place, horrible, nasty, and very, very nasty place. Why should we stay here at all? But the love of the devotees, that will sustain us in this world. And that we want to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission within this world. So I have some things to do in this world also. I may be traveling less than I used to do, but then I may be writing more also. So you can all please help with this speaking also. Many things to speak. I have to be guru to all of you, so I have to be very responsible. You also have to be responsible as disciples. Minimally, you have to chant 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. Don't think that it's not important. Other things are more important. Minimally, you have to do that. Follow 4 regulative principles. That's minimum responsibility that you have to accept. Otherwise, there's no meaning to being a disciple. There are many things also, many more things. So I also, as long as Krishna keeps me here, I should go on speaking. There are many things, unlimited things to say. Please hear. You have to hear Srila Prabhupada, you have to read his books. You should hear me also, being disciples. In this regard, Vrindavan Chandra. Yeah. Some disciples have been working very hard for several years to make, anyway, you can talk about it, you can say, to make this available. Huge amount of work. has gone into making that was released in Hindi. We're in Somnath 1 and a bit years ago. So you can explain now. Come up.
Hare Krishna. So, on this very special day of 60th Vyasa-puja celebration of His Holiness Bhakti Vikasa Maharaj, we are very happy to announce that the Maharaj's blessings, many devotees have worked very hard on producing complete compilation of lectures that Maharaj has been giving since so many years. So we are releasing them now. The team of devotees in the care of Damodar Guru was working since many years. So we have here in English 4,200 lectures of His Holiness Bhakti Vikasa Maharaj, available in 64 GB memory card. That amounts to more than 3,000 hours of hearing. And this includes more than 600 lectures on Bhagavad Gita, 900 lectures on Srimad Bhagavatam, and Maharaj has been doing a series of lectures on Vishnu Sahasranam, more than 1,000 assorted lectures, there are more than 40 seminars. It's a lot of hearing. So this is a contribution of Maharaj to the Prabhupada. This is in English and similarly there is in Hindi. Maharaj will lecture in Hindi, so there are almost 1,500 lectures in Hindi also that compiled separately. So this is a very good advantage for all disciples. As Maharaj said that Prabhupada teachings are central, Prabhupada lectures are central, Prabhupada books are central. Along with that, the duty of all disciples to hear from spiritual master also, so that we can understand how to follow the Prabhupada and become his servant. So this is a very great treasure for all disciples. Guru Maharaj is Vani, we have to serve Maharaj who is Vani, and it is available now. Maharaj has been giving his guidance in so many years, but it is available here on this hall. Along with that, we have given a speaker, and in that his memory card is put, and you can play any lecture by playing a number from this book. So 4,200 lectures and there are 4,200 numbers in it. So in chronological order. So you can play them, just press the number and you will immediately you can hear that lecture on a particular verse or a particular topic. So this is a great treasure, and everyone should have this. And you have come to this Vyasa-puja. Vyasa-puja means to worship Guru, and to worship Guru by following his instructions, and his instructions are available in the form of his Vani. So please don't miss this opportunity. Many devotees have been working hard, and this is available now here in 64 GB card, and for Hindi it's available in 16 GB card. So you can see on this top. So more than 1,000 lectures were along with translation. Maharaj goes to all the parts of the world, and many devotees don't understand English, so lectures are there in English and translation in various languages. English with Russian, English with Latvian, English with Croatian, English with Telugu. So
just one.
many devotees, half an hour lecture becomes 1 hour lecture. So the great endeavor has been done to cut all those translations. And of course, lectures are available with translation also for those who don't want to hear translation. So more than 1,000 lectures are cut, those translation part is cut, so you can just hear the English part and in that manner utilize your time very nicely. So this speaker memory card is there. So just by turning it on, you can start hearing it. Very loud voice, very clear voice. And anytime you can hear during your day's work, by cooking, cleaning, while working on anything, you can always hear Maharaj's Vani. And of course, the speaker, you can also put the Prabhupada lectures. If you put the Prabhupada memory card in, it is also available. You will be also able to hear the Prabhupada lectures along with that.
Hare Krishna. Then other books are there?
So along with this, we also on this occasion. We are very glad to offer for new books. So, it's very befitting offering on the Vyasa-puja day. Vyasa-dev, the incarnation of Lord, who has given us transcendental knowledge in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, Anar Dopasamam Sakshat, Bhakti Yoga Malok Saje, Lokatya Dana Yoginvam, Satve Samhita. So, in the parampara, the acharyas have also big contribution, and Maharaj is also continuing the legacy of our previous acharyas. So, Maharaj, some of the books of Maharaj and some of the books which are written by some devotees, receiving the blessings from Maharaj are produced and will offer it to Maharaj. I will offer it, and I will announce what are those books now. So the one book is titled Vyasa-puja. This work is of Prabodhananda Saraswati, a great acharya in parampara. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati is revealed in the Garuda book. His identity is revealed as in Krishna's pastime. He is a Tungabhadra, one of the 8 principal gopis who was Srimati Radharani in his service. Unfortunately, Prabodhananda Saraswati had become a controversial figure in Gaudiya Sampradaya due to various misconceptions about it. So this is a very good offering by one devotee. His name is William Martin. So he has did a lot of research and he has revealed, or he has made very clear that Prabodhananda Saraswati was a great acharya, and the confusions about it, the misconceptions about it, which are prevalent in Western society, he has cleared them out, and his works which we found during this research, 3 of his works, actually, the book is titled as Vyasa-puja, but it's a trilogy. His 3 works, Chaitanya Chandra-astitam, Nityananda-astitam, and Vyasa-puja. These 3 works are combined together in this book. Vyasa-puja means 100 verses, and Vivek means wisdom. So, Prabodhananda Saraswati has, in very poetic manner, has written 100 verses, which helps devotees to discriminate such and such, what is truth and what is not truth. So, and always engage our mind in the service of Krishna being in this material world. So this Vyasa-puja, that work, inside the Chaitanya Chandra-astitam and Nityananda-astitam, which glorifies Lord Chaitanya and tells a very beautiful poetic manner. So, 100 Vyasa-puja verses and 7 is 14 verses of Nityananda-astitam and Chaitanya Chandra-astitam, altogether 114 verses. Each verse is there along with the word by word translation, English transliteration and translation. And so the book I think was published and is very great service to the parampara, and Maharaj has offered that to the Prabhupada. Another book by the blessings of Maharaj. Maharaj encouraging many of his disciples who have capacity to write Vaishnava literature. So another book. First I will announce Gujarati. I will announce in English just for all of your information. Maharaj had given more than 70 systematic lectures on TV channel Star Plus many years ago. Serial was titled Atma, and there were very systematic lectures for the newcomers to understand the basics of Krishna consciousness based on a lecture of devotion. So many people have heard those lectures because they were widely relayed on TV throughout the world, and those lectures were transcribed. Those were Hindi lectures, they were transcribed, they were translated in Gujarati, and this is made into a book called Bhakti. So it is also first time released. And, where is offered to the Prabhupada. The third book is titled A Divine Prophecy, and I just introduced the Maharaj is encouraging many of his disciples to contribute to the Prabhupada service. So, Sridhar Srinivas, one of Maharaj's disciples, who hails from US background, and Maharaj since long cherished the desire that how to bring out the works of previous acharyas in other sampradayas, which predict the movement of Lord Chaitanya. So this book is a kind of a bridge between Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya and Gauri Vaishnava Sampradaya. Sridhar Srinivas, who went from Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, he has brought up verse of Namalva. Alvars are the great devotees of the Lord, great devotees of Lord Vishnu, who appeared in Tamil Nadu before the appearance of Ramanujacharya, and they glorified the Lord in a very poetic, beautiful manner in Divya Prabandham. So, Namalva's glorification and his prediction of the Sankirtan movement, which is going to happen after the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, that link or that predictions about the Lord Chaitanya's incarnation have been included in this book. It's called Divine Prophecy, Namalva's prediction about Lord Chaitanya. So it's a very nice book. Please have a look at it. We already have a few copies. This book is just offered to Prabhupada. We already have a few copies. You can give your orders and later on we can deliver you. Also, we released some other books just a month ago. So I will just introduce quickly to you. Param Bhagavan Talk. This book is now available in Hindi. First it was written in English 3 years ago. I think this book is the room of instruction of Maharaj. But this book is very important in vernacular language because the idea that all 33 crores religions are all equal, that's very widespread in all Indian culture. So, non-vernacular languages. So, Param Bhagavan Talk is very good contribution to discuss and ignorance that all demigods are equal, and it's available in Hindi. Rethinking Darling, this book Maharaj wanted to publish in India via his trust. Very important book. Srila Prabhupada many times wanted that his disciples who have skills, who have studied the science background, can take up a task of defeating Darwinism, because Darwinism forms the basis of atheism in modern world, and if we cut the Darwinism, then automatically the whole hopes of science will come down. So this book, very written by Lalita Prabhu, a devotee from Denmark, and he is a science writer. He has very systematically put. He has told how there are so many loopholes in theory of Darwin, and along with that he has presented very alternatives. So this book is very good for science institutions in schools, colleges. So all these books are available here, and so probably many of you are aware that Maharaj has formed a trust called Bhakti Vikasa Trust, and one of the main objectives of this trust is to one of the objectives of this trust to produce such a constant literature to spread the movement of Lord Chaitanya. So we are trying to produce more and more such literature, such a constant literature, and this is some of the work from our Bhakti Vikasa Trust. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reprinted. 40,000 copies have been printed of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Small book, introductory book on Lord Chaitanya that Maharaj has written. Full color, very delightful. Lots of pictures, color pictures of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. Should be distributed throughout North India.